I'm taking you on my first European adventure. España, baby. Spain to be exact. And as a black girl traveling to Europe for the first time, this was more than just a vacation. It was literally a dream come true. Hi, guys, and welcome back to Culinary in real life. I am a creative who's all about self help, personal growth, and now, drum roll, traveling. I know I have been so inconsistent with posting, but life is a wild ride, right? And speaking of wild rides, let's get back to the trip. But before we get to the fun stuff, let me just say the Schengen visa application process, whew, it's not for the faint-hearted. I'll share all those details in my next video. So this was a late night flight, and shout out to my best friend Dennis who dropped me off at the airport. I love you so much. 16 hours later, we are in Madrid, baby. My host for this trip picked me up, and they're literally the most amazing people ever. I checked into the Pullman hotel. Solo day before my partner in crime arrives. I'm gonna make the most out of this hotel. Skin breakout, check. No, because I had like the worst reaction, but the doctor said it's like some kind of histamine reaction when you're in a new country or like different air or something like that. Yeah, but that went away very fast. Jet lag, double check. But the Pullman is such an absolute gem, I literally couldn't sleep. Now let's talk food. So this was gonna be the first real meal that I had tried in Spain, and this was Ecuadorian cuisine. So that is South American cuisine, I believe, and the flavors were so rich, but also very familiar to the African cuisine palette. So my favorite person ever is here, and the next day we packed our bags and hit the road towards the northeastern part of Spain. So these are cities like Zaragoza, Benefa, Huesca. I thought I said that right. And the views and the landscapes, oh my goodness, they were so breathtaking. It's like the perfect blend of nature and history. That was so scenic, and the next day we went to find a gym, and I'm sure we can all agree how tough it is to work out on holiday, but you gotta find a way to keep those steps in. That you should play it. I get scared when I walk on these stages. I look at the crowd and see so many faces. Yeah, that's when I start to get anxious. That's when And the next stop is Barcelona. I was so excited about this part of the trip because this has been on my vision board for the longest time. Europe in general, and Barcelona to be very specific. Well, obviously, I would have to be in Spain, but I was like, if I ever go to Spain, I really want to visit Barcelona. And this was actually a moment of manifestation coming true.
Okay, so there.
So there's obviously no leaving Spain without trying a little bit of the nightlife, a little bit of the fiesta. So we stopped at what apparently was rated the 13th best cocktail bar in the world, Salmon Guru, and it didn't disappoint.
And finally, my favorite part of the trip, we took the most scenic drive up to the north of Spain, and the weather here was so immaculate, given that it's summer, and my skin was not scorched. So, this was such a friendly place to be at. The north of Spain was like nothing I have ever seen before. I really enjoyed how cool the weather was, and every single view to me was extremely breathtaking. We finally arrived at the charming little European towns of north of Spain, Codiero, Ribadesella, Galicia, Santiago, something at Coruna. This is me imagining I have a European accent or Spanish accent. I don't think there's a European accent. Anyway, this was so, so beautiful. It was my favorite part of the trip.
Please don't fall down. Or
This is really nice. Okay. That's it.
I would go as far as to say Spanish food has to be among the best cuisines I've ever tried. I'd put obviously my local palate at the very top. I would say Asian food, Thailand food, Vietnamese food was mind-blowingly good, but Spanish comes real close. Their food is quite fantastic, very flavorful. I would say it's a bit too salty for my taste, lots of cheese, but overall, extremely delicious. Also, Spaniards really love their drinks. Every 2 miles, we had to stop, have some wine, another 2 miles, some tea, some red tea, some pink tea. How about some water, some beer? How about some Pepsi, some cola? Damn. Anyway, I quickly learned that summer vibes here mean sitting, chatting, and enjoying life. And given that where I come from, we do not have these extreme seasons, this was such an interesting experience for me. Well, my trip was coming to such a quick end, so I was a little bit sad, but here are some culture shocks. So almost nobody spoke English, right? And the summer weather was much friendlier than I expected. Overall, Spain, thank you so much for having me. I had a beautiful, beautiful things that I've got. Beautiful time. So that's it for this adventure. Until next time, thank you for having me, Spain. But do stay tuned because there's more where this came from. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and see you on my next video. Adios.